Artisanal fragrances. They are something special. You know, oftentimes, many people in their fragrance journey will do a progression such as this: designers, niche, start to touch in maybe some indie kind of things, pick up oud here and there, and they'll eventually wander into the territory of artisanal. And sometimes people may very well start their journey with artisanal. Now, what is an artisanal fragrance? Well, that's a great question. I think we kind of throw that term out there when a house doesn't necessarily fit into the niche category. And what I mean by that is, well, let me back up. To me, an artisanal fragrance or an artisanal house is one that prioritizes art over mass appeal. I think that's the easiest way you could define an artisanal house. Oftentimes, they will create a fragrance based off of an experience. They are basically expressing themselves in a bottle rather than trying to create something that everybody will appreciate. And that's very honorable. And a lot of times, you'll also find houses that really invest into the highest of quality ingredients. Natural ouds, wild ouds, really rare absolutes here and there, uniquely sourced, quality ingredients, and they will create a blend based around this note to highlight that specific note. Regardless, they fall into the artisanal category. And oftentimes what happens here is you get a fragrance that is lovely, but maybe not always the most wearable. Maybe it's very unique and it takes an acquired nose to appreciate it. That's all fine and dandy. There are a huge amount of us out here that absolutely love an artisanal fragrance. So today we're going to go over my top 12, or at least 12 that I really appreciate. I have a good number of artisanal fragrances. I don't have all the houses, so I'm going to go over some of my favorite houses in the artisanal market. Some of these are very artisanal and some of them are kind of fringe, a good entry point into the more artisanal space. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this list. This is in no particular order, so as we are going along, if one of these is one that you have experienced before, make sure you comment what your experience has been like in the comments below, and let me know your favorite artisanal house. Let's go ahead and dive into our list, starting with a nice fringe artisanal house. So this house is called Azman. The one I want to highlight here is called Majnoon. I love many of the Azman fragrances, but Majnoon is the one that really caught my eye, and you can see the dark juice. So Azman wanted to, from what I understand, kind of bridge the gap between artisanal oud, like natural wild ouds, and wearability. And I applaud that because many of their fragrances are very artistic while being slightly mass appealing to where you could wear it day to day. Majnoon is a beautiful blend of pomegranate, coffee, oud, kind of this boozy qualities, vanilla things, florals. It's a lovely blend that is rich and dark and smoky and sweet that is so freaking good. It's very strong. This was perfumed by Prin. So Prin is another artisanal perfumer. Let's go ahead and juice through this. These put out a lot of juice. Oh my gosh, yeah, that opening is tart. It's juicy, but you immediately get that coffee and that chocolate. Kind of powdery. Got a little bit of that smoky oud in there. Oof. This one's so cozy. We've got another one in the list that kind of reminds me of this one. The other thing you have to be wary about with these fragrances is the stain factor. We'll see if this will pick it up, but there's not, no, it's not gonna work. No worries. Here's another one. The next one on the list is called Elite from Perito Moreno. This is an oud that I like to wear in the summertime, or just in the heat in general, because I find that the heat brings out some really cool qualities. This one is insanely strong. So much freaking juice. So there's really sharp green notes, some tropical fruity like guava kind of things, apple. There is a very sharp grassy note in this. but then you immediately get some like honey-like sweetness, some animalics. I think there's civet, and I'm pretty sure it's civet in this. There is oud. There's some funky bits. This one opens up very fresh and tropical, playful, but then it takes a hard turn once it really opens up into this smoky, animalic kind of thing. It is very wearable, but this is very much something you want to wear 1, maybe 2 sprays of. Definitely like almost like signature scent kind of vibes. The next one is a true gem. It's my favorite from the house. This is called Poison Ivy from Folkwinds. So many people know about this fragrance. This was a very expensive fragrance. I think this was $750 for 50 ml. This was done by Jono from Folkwinds, as well as Matthew from Lost Tribe. It was a little bit of a collab. This was kind of a sheep res. So this was apple, moss, ivy resin, a very chill oud, some lotus, fruitier notes here and there. And it was absolutely divine. It's my favorite one that they've ever done. Insanely wearable. And I've had so many people ask me for that they could buy it from me. And I'm like, heck no. There was only 50 bottles of that made. And then we talk about a house like Clandestine Laboratories. I've covered them many times on the channel. Mark's work is very artisanal. He does a really great job of recreating experiences in life, but he does try to make them wearable at the same time. So I would put him at like a kind of an indie, like artisanal fringe kind of thing, almost dabbling in the niche territory. I've got a few fragrances to highlight from him. The first one I'm going to highlight is Film Noir. Film Noir is one of the first, it is the first fragrance I picked up from him, along with one of the other ones, because this one, it's a masterclass on lavender. Many kinds of lavender in this. Paired with tonka, honey, orris, animalics, smoky notes. To me, this one always reminded me of being in the 20s. It's a dark, rainy night, getting ready to like go see a movie, like you got a cigarette kind of thing. Just the smoke and stuff. It's a beautiful fragrance that lasts forever. One of the other first one I ever picked up from him was Wendover. And Wendover is just a special one to me because it literally smells like peated Islay Scotch whiskey. So there is peat in this. There's like honey aspects. There is grassy tones, tobacco. Man. It's dry, earthy, marine, like saline, not watery, saline. Got this hint of barbecue kind of thing. For me, the imagery it puts me in, I'm in Scotland, walking along the shorelines. The grass is tall, and there's a cabin nearby with burning peat. That's the imagery it puts in my head. It's beautiful. And as it's aged, it's gotten even earthier and drier. This one is one you can absolutely wear in the summertime, but it may not seem like it, but try it. And the last one is such a cool take on the note of chocolate, called Novochoc. Novochoc is one that has kind of really just captured my attention. It has really just been one that I'm like, I freaking love this fragrance. So it's chocolate, yes, but more so cacao. Very dry chocolate with like a flourless cake accord. You've also got some almond in this to give it a little bit of creaminess. There's some florals, some resin, some woods. This thing is spicy, insanely strong. This is one that you can wear one spray and you will literally fill up an entire room. It lasts easy 18 plus hours. It's just a truly special, unique take on chocolate. I was not originally a chocolate kind of person, but this fragrance dries it up so much and makes it not so gourmand that I actually really enjoy wearing it because of the spice and the other things going on in it. And then moving on to the next house. Sorry, my nose is like going crazy with all the stuff in the air right now. Slumberhouse. I'm sorry to be showing these because I know some people love Slumberhouse and they're very, very hard to get. I was one of the very lucky people that got this drop. This one's called Coffee Stova. This fragrance sold out in 30 seconds. Maybe it was 5 seconds. There were 30 bottles of it. I think it was about $300. Or maybe it was less than that. I don't remember. Maybe it was 180. This is divine. I've actually never even sprayed this bottle. I bought a sample of it before. I don't wear this one anymore. This is really a collector's piece. But the juice is the darkest juice in my entire collection, and this one does stain your skin. I had yellow spots or orange spots on my skin for a couple of days. Tobacco, coffee, plum, rum, chocolate, spices, resins. It is perhaps the most real, like the realistic smelling, like tobacco and espresso, like roasted coffee with a very nice chocolate note. It is absolutely real. Like there is legit, like there's sediment in here from, because this is an unfiltered blend. This one in particular was unfiltered. They mentioned that in the advertising. It's unbelievable. And then here's another one from Slumberhouse called Jeke. This one is also a tobacco, but it goes more into sweet elements, so honey and caramel, with a little bit of spices and woods here and there, a little bit of florals. This one's absolutely beautiful. If you like a sweeter tobacco note that still smells that kind of tobacco pipe, like pipe tobacco vibe, it's so comforting. Slumberhouse is a real treat to experience, but they're very, very hard to get. Then we go to a house. Again, I've covered this one so many times, but her work is divine. St. Clair Scents with Casablanca. She shines with florals. So if you're into florals, St. Clair Scents is a house that you definitely want to check out, because the way she works with her florals is just to die for. She uses crazy high quality absolutes. So there's like Jasmine Absolute, Ylang Ylang Absolute, Tuberose Absolute, all sorts of good things in this, like all sorts of white florals, moss, resin, animalics, fruity notes. It's so good. Again, insanely wearable. A very classy, timeless, seductive white floral chypre. Orange blossom as well. I can't forget the orange blossom. This is one I need to get a full bottle of. I got this as a sample, or a little add-on, because I bought some really high-end fragrances from a person. And he sent me this as well as some decants of some other Slumberhouses. But this is called Night Song from Teone Reinthal. You can see, yeah. So Night Song. Wow. This is oud, but more so champaka and like frangipani, with myrrh, frankincense, and sandalwood. This is very spicy with a nice bit of this really creamy touch. Very powdery floral. For a bit, it does smell like baby powder and a bit of Sharpie. But my word. Oh. You get this hint of like dark chocolate and like a dark chocolate liqueur. It's like sweet and boozy, but immediately with florals, these really rich resins. And again, we'll see if you can see it's gonna stay on my face. It's not gonna work. This is so freaking dark because these are naturals, guys. These are unfiltered, like they're very rich quality things. They're not trying to be these safe things. They're trying to be a true expression of the materials. Teone Reinthal, like basically, like that's her big thing is natural perfumery. Definitely want to experience more of their stuff. And then of course we have to have Ensar Oud. Ensar Oud was the first artisanal house that I had. They're the first experience I ever had with real oud. This one's Jamaican ambergris, the Hoyan version, for those of you that know much about Ensar Oud. So yeah, this is the Hoyan. This was $1,000 for a 30 mil. One of the, if not the most, it's almost the most expensive fragrance in my collection. But this was the most beautiful. It still is the most beautiful, most wearable oud in my collection. There is a little bit of sediment in this one. A few types of oud in this one. Again, florals, lotus, again, sweeter notes, vanilla. The vanilla in this is to die for. I'm not going to spray this one because a spray is worth like $5 to $10. It is very smooth with a hint of smoke, no animalics whatsoever, but it is such a high quality oud. It doesn't carry those fecal qualities. It's just beautiful oud mixed with rich ambery resins, sweet notes, florals, vetiver. Oh my gosh. A true masterpiece. And then wrapping us up with another one of those kind of fringe artisanal houses. So close to my heart. Beautiful work with from the house of Meo Fusciuni. Last Season. Last Season is forever one of the most special fragrances in my collection. Deep emotional connection with this fragrance, just due to personal life story, alignment and whatnot. This fragrance is dank, earthy, wet, deep, smoky with woods. There's patchouli, chamomile, there's tobacco, leather, some animalics, even some oud. Every time I smell this fragrance, it's just one of those things when it like brings up a bit of an emotion, just this like, yes, I know you, you are my friend kind of thing. We are one. It's just a outstanding fragrance, and most of his line I could feature here, but that one is the one that was kind of speaking to me to feature. That one and Little Song, honestly. Little Song is also amazing with the coffee note, the animalics, the powdery qualities. Truly outstanding. Artisanal fragrances are special, guys. They are art. They are artistry at work, hence the name artisanal. They're not for everyone. They are very niche. It's true, what a true niche would be, honestly. But if you're one like me that oftentimes looks for art in perfumery, these often stand out, and they're not for everyone. There are many from these houses that are just, no, like I'm okay, I don't need to smell that ever again. But at the end of the day, the perfumer, the owner of these companies, was like, this is something I wanted to express. Here it is, world, take it as you will. And they don't really care too much about what people think. And I think that's truly beautiful, because that's where some of the truest, well, I shouldn't say truest, that's where some of the most unique, passionate perfumery comes about. Just my little take. Make sure you drop in the comments what some of your favorite artisanal houses or fragrances are in general. And if you haven't experienced artisanal yet, do you think you ever will? Is that something that piques your curiosity? Make sure you throw those in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and are enjoying the content of this channel, would you consider hitting that like button and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button? And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.